Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning. A very warm greeting to all of you. Welcome to the Sharing Session Part 15, organized by the Indonesian ESP Teachers Community. My name is Fathin from Poltekkes Kemenkes, Yogyakarta, and I'm truly honored to be your MC for today. Firstly, I would like to greet the Honorable Dr. Lulu Iswati, S.Pd M.Hum, as the chairperson of the Indonesian ESP Teachers Community. And our distinguished speakers, Ibu Isnaini Nur Safitri, M.Pd, from Politeknik Negeri Malang. Good morning, Bu Neni.
Good morning, Bu Ika.
And Bapak Aswir, M.Pd, from Universitas Muhammadiyah, Jakarta. Good morning, Pak Aswir. Okay.
Ya, good morning, Bu.
And of course, good morning. And of course, our moderator, Ibu Ririn Sotyarini, MA, from STBA Lia Yogyakarta. Good morning, Bu Ririn.
Good morning, Mbak Ika, and also Bapak Ibu. Thank you.
And of course, all of the participants today. Today is the 15th session of our episode. Yeah, it's quite a long journey. Hopefully, you're still enthusiastic and feel motivated to share insights, experiences, and innovations in the field of English for specific purposes. On behalf of the organizing committee, we extend our appreciation for your presence today. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me first to read the agenda for today. The first agenda is the opening session. Second, singing our national anthem Indonesia Raya, then followed by photo session. Next, it is the welcoming remark from the chairman of the Indonesian ESP Teachers Community. Then the main agenda for today, it is the expert sharing session, which will be led by our moderator. And next, we will have the announcement from ESP board. And the last is closing. Okay, before we proceed with today's agenda, let us begin with a moment of prayer and reflection. I kindly invite everyone to join me in silence. According to our own beliefs, as we pray for a smooth and meaningful session today, shall we? Amen. Thank you. Next, let us show our respect and love for our country by singing the Indonesian national anthem, Indonesia Raya. Okay, everyone, please be ready. Okay, thank you, everyone. Okay, now let's take a moment to capture this wonderful gathering. So everyone, please turn on your camera. And then don't forget to apply the virtual background. Okay, please show your best smile and stay still while our team takes screenshot. Mbak Yeni ya, please help us. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Shot. Once again. 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you, Bapak Ibu. Next, we would like to invite the chair of the Indonesian ESP Teachers Community to deliver the welcome speech. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Dwi Yulianto Nugroho, M.Ed, as the representative from the Indonesian ESP Teachers Community Board. For Mr. Dwi, the screen is yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Ibu Eka, for the very warm welcome for us, for leading us until this session. And good morning to all participants of this morning's ESP sharing session. Welcome, Bapak Ibu. And it's hard to believe that it's already the 15th session of our sharing session organized by the Indonesian ESP teachers community. This means our community has successfully held 15 sharing sessions since its establishment in 2021 during the COVID-19 pandemic at the time, I still remember. On this occasion, on behalf of the community board, I would like to express our sincere thanks to Ibu Neni and Pak Aswir for kindly agreeing to be our speakers today, as well as to our moderator, Ibu Ririn, and also our Master of Ceremony, Ibu Ika, for guiding us through this session. And this event, Bapak Ibu, is by members and for members, which becomes a great opportunity for members to get involved as the speakers, moderators, or Master of Ceremonies. Therefore, we welcome anyone who would like to take on those roles in the future sessions. Please let the board know after the sessions if you would like to participate to become the speakers, moderators, or the master of ceremonies for the future sessions. And Bapak Ibu, let us now join together to learn from the speakers today. Let us enjoy this session and have fun together. And I will now hand it back over to our Master of Ceremony to continue the program. Ibu Ika, thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Dwi, for the warm and inspiring remarks. All right, and next, ladies and gentlemen, before we move to the main session for today, yeah, I believe all of you are very excited to wait for the materials today because nowadays ESP field is getting more challenging, yeah. About the classroom, about the materials, about the curriculum, and it's always very complicated, right? And in this session, please allow me to briefly introduce our distinguished speakers today. We have two wonderful speakers here. First, we have a beautiful speaker today, Ibu Isnaini Nur Safitri M.Pd from Politeknik Negeri Malang. Ya, Bu Neni. Hello, Bu Neni.
Hello, Bu Ika. Good morning.
Yeah, and today she's going to deliver the presentation about lessons from ESP classroom, incorporating PBL across two courses. And for the second speaker, yeah, we also have the handsome one, Bapak Aswir M.Pd from Universitas Muhammadiyah Jakarta. Hello, Pak Aswir.
Hello, Miss Ika.
Okay, and and with the topic ESP Pedagogy, how CAKAP. Ya, cakap or cakep, Pak? Cakap
Cakap.
ya. Cakap or content, area knowledge, and purposes. Affects teachers' professionalism and students' needs. Yeah, we are so excited to hear and learn from their insights. And now, it's time for our expert sharing session. And to guide us through this exciting discussion, I would like to hand over the session to our moderator today, Miss Ririn Sotyarini, MA. Hello, Bu Ririn.
Yes, good morning, Miss Ika.
Yes.
Thank you very
Good
much.
morning, Bu Ririn. Yeah, and Bu Ririn is a lecturer at STBA Yogyakarta, and she's also teaching at STBA Yogyakarta, and helps classes at cruise ship trainings in Yogyakarta for handling review. Okay, without further ado, to Bu Ririn.
Yeah, thank you very much, Miss Ika Fathin. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
It is very special today. This is a splendid Saturday. So I would like to introduce the speakers for our today's session, ESP Sharing Session, the 15th session. But before that, I would like to say hello to Ibu Dr. Lulu Iswati and also Bapak Dwi, and also especially for all the committee of ESP Teachers Community Session. And I also see that many of you I have known and recognized the names. Good morning, everyone. And for our first speaker today, Miss Isnaini Nur Safitri, or kindly known as Ibu Neni. Is that correct, Ibu Neni? Yeah? Ibu Neni is the lecturer, English lecturer at D4 English for Tourism Industry study program, Politeknik Negeri Malang. Her education, she got the Bachelor of English Language Education, State University of Yogyakarta in 2012, and she got her Master English Language Education in 11 Maret University, Surakarta in 2014. Miss Isnaini or Miss Neni became English lecturers at Language Center, Muhammadiyah University, and also Agriculture Department, Widyagama University. And from March 2019 until present, she is English lecturer at D4 English for Tourism Industry, State Politeknik of Malang. Ms. Isnaini also actively participated in organizations as member of Indonesian English Language Association, ESP Teacher Community, Secretary of International Office Affairs Polynema, and member of International Team Polynema, and coordinator of internship program in D4 English for Tourism Industry and D4 English for Business and Professional Communication Study Program, January 2024 until present. Her trainings and certifications as are tour guide, tour leader, travel consultant, front office, and marketing communication specialist. Ms. Isnaini also has done some researches and publications, which I cannot mention all, but among them are pengembangan aplikasi e-rubrik untuk mata kuliah Tourist Guiding and MICE, pengembangan buku panduan berbahasa Inggris City Tour, a guidebook for tourist guides, and also developing bilingual synchronized audio for the Android application of Tourist Attraction Legends in East Java in 2024, also published in Jali, and currently working on her research on pengembangan model pembelajaran berbasis proyek pada mata kuliah terintegrasi dalam konteks English for Specific Purposes. Miss Isnaini also have publication for the book Tourist Guiding, English for Hotel Customer Service, and English for Hotel Management. All three are published by Polynema Press in 2020 and 2004. Tourism Marketing Presentation published by Dale Nurul Utama. And her intellectual property right is aplikasi e-rubrik untuk mata kuliah MICE and Tourist Guiding, pengembang rubrik penilaian mata kuliah Tourist Guiding 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present to you Miss Isnaini Nur Safitri, S.Pd, M.Pd from Politeknik Malang, or is known as Ibu Neni, and the topic is Lessons from the ESP Classroom Incorporating Project-Based Learning, PBL, across the courses. Ibu Neni, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Bu Ririn. Well, all right. Good morning, Bapak Ibu. Thank you so much. It is such an honor for me to be invited as one of the speaker in ESP Sharing Session 15. Yeah, and first, I'd like to express my gratitude to Ibu Lulu Iswati, Ibu Dr. Lulu Iswati, the chief of ESP teacher community who has given me this opportunity to share with Bapak Ibu. Well, I also want to thank you for the committee who has successfully managed this event and all the participants who have joined sharing session today. Well, I have to introduce myself again. Yeah, Bu Ririn already introduced me. Yeah, but yeah, simply call me Bu Neni. It's okay. Yeah, I'm a teacher. Yeah, a teacher in D4 English for Tourism Industry, Politeknik Negeri Malang. Well, before we start, allow me to share screen, Bu Ririn. Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Well, all right. Bapak Ibu, I'm not the expert. Yeah. So I just want to share my experience in teaching ESP, yeah, in D4 English for Tourism Industry, lesson from ESP classroom, incorporating PBL across two courses. All right, Bapak Ibu, there are some points that I have to cover this morning. The first one is ESP and PBL, and then the overview of two ESP courses. Next will be the background of incorporating PBL across two courses, and then how I implement the PBL into ESP courses, and then the challenges of implementing PBL across two ESP courses, and how it impacts on the students, and probably I will also give the recommendation for ESP teachers who are intended to implement the same thing in the classroom. Well, Bapak Ibu, I will start with the basic concept of ESP, English for Specific Purposes, from Dudley, Evan, and John, stating that ESP is designed to meet specific learner needs linked to a particular discipline using a particular methodology, and included certain language features such as registers and genres to carry out activities. And we, the curriculum team and all the teachers in D4 of English Tourism Industry, we have been paying much attention on what are actually needed by the learners. Yeah, okay. And then we formulate that the graduates should have the ability to communicate using English in the tourism occupational field, such as being a tour leader, being a tour guide, and then being a travel consultant maybe, or hotel receptionist, hotel staff. And sometimes we also encourage them to be able to be a writer, the content writer or travel or content writer. And then meanwhile, yeah, the teaching method that we use is actually varied, yeah, based on the CLO and LO. CLO is CLO is um, the wait. The course learning objective. Yeah, the CLO is the course learning objective based on the course itself. Yeah. However, yeah, but since the regulation from the government itself, yeah, it encouraged us to use two types of method, that is PBL and case method. That's why here, yeah, we use two method in our department, PBL and case method. Yeah. Furthermore, in D4 English for Tourism industry, we do not only teach the language, but we also teach the content, such as we also give the knowledge to the student related to tourism, the theory of destination, the theory of attraction, and also departments probably related to the hotel industry. And then we proceed to the project-based learning. Well, I believe that it's not something new to Bapak Ibu also. Yeah, okay. Probably not only me, but most or many teachers, yeah, okay, already implemented PBL. Okay, well, the idea of PBL itself is coming from John Dewey, okay, who stated that students could gain practical and efficient knowledge when experiencing and practical things related to the real life context. And this idea is conceived and captured by his pupil, yeah, William Kilpatrick, who mentioned that and confirmed that project may present every variety that proposes in life. And then also projects stimulate social skills, and those William Kilpatrick already mentioned that the project method. Yeah, and then since then, yeah, project-based learning has been widely used by all the educators, all the teachers around the world. Yeah, okay. And one of them is project-based learning in teaching communication skill in English as a foreign language to engineering students. And that's why, yeah, okay, from that point, my colleague and I, yeah, okay, think about to incorporating PBL across two ESP courses by having a simulation project. Well, Bapak Ibu, before I move further, I will give the overview of the two ESP courses. Yeah, the first course is English for e-tourism. I teach English for e-tourism, and it is practical subject. For your information, in D4 of English for tourism industry, we have practical subject and theoretical subject. So for practical subject, it has 2 credits and then taught 6 hours per week. And for English for e-tourism, it is taught to 5th semester student. And then it is focused on implementing language with the topics related to tourism in the digital era. The materials covered in this course is Introduction to English for e-tourism, the theories of the world tourism destinations, e-commerce and transportation, airline industry, accommodation, culinary, and travel agency. And all those materials or topic are covered into tourism sector. And for the language focus, students are expected to be able to explain procedures of online booking for certain transportation, and then writing script for promotional videos, handling accommodation booking via telephone, and then establishing communication at the airport, writing caption for Instagram, and using persuasive language in creating a e-flyer for tour packages. The next course is content and creative writing. It is taught by my colleague, yeah, okay. Her name is Ibu Mariana Ulfa, and then it is a practical subject, and it is also 2 credits and taught 6 hours per week, and it is taught in the same semester for the 5th semester students, and then it is focused on writing contents for blogs, website, flyer, social media related to tourism. And then the materials cover are introduction to content and creative writing, writing headlines and subheadlines, content for social media and website, writing video script, writing tourism products such as restaurant, hotel, transportation, and writing visual and prompt. All right, now we move to the basis of incorporating PBL across to ESP courses. Well, there are some reasons actually why we finally decide to incorporating PBL across the courses. Yeah, the first one is the regulation from the government, that is Permendikbud number 3, 2020, and Permendikbud Ristek number 53 in 2023. It is stated there that teaching and learning process should be conducted inclusively, collaboratively, creatively, and effectively to facilitate long life learning. And then it refers to the use of methods such as project-based learning and then problem-based learning or inquiry learning or case method. And then another reason is that the subject should be taught using PBL or case method. Since we have, as I have mentioned before, that in our study program, for the practical subject, we usually implement PBL. And then for the theoretical subject, we usually implement case method. That's why for English for e-tourism and content and creative writing, since both of the courses are practical subjects, we implement PBL. And another reason is that students may face difficulties since there are many projects in one semester. In our department, there is some possibility that the student may get 4 until 6 practical subject in one semester. So can you imagine when there are 4 until 6 practical subjects, it means that there will be 4 until 6 projects in one semester. And they reveal that it is difficult for them to manage 4 until 6 project from the 6 courses in one semester. And then sometimes also the different subject assign student with similar project. For example, I also teach English for hotel industry. And then in English for hotel industry, there is a project of creating a promotional video for hotel. And then there is also, on the other hand, there is also another subject like voiceover. We also have voiceover subject. And then in voiceover, we also encourage students to create a promotional video for the hotel. When each teacher assign the same similar project, then the student feel like why it is the same. But then we think about that. We think about incorporating PBL across to ESP courses. Yes, Bapak Ibu, this is the framework that I use. How I implement the PBL across two courses. The first one is I have to have a look at the courses within the semester. So in one semester, I have to see what are the courses that have the possibility to be conducted collaboratively only with one PBL, only with one project, only with one project. And then once we have decided the subject, and then we have discussion with the collaborative teacher on learning outcome and CLO for each course learning outcome. And it is to know how we manage our course. So we have to know, so what should the student need to achieve in each course. And then after that, I identify the problems and choosing the topic. When in identifying the problems and choosing the topics, I involve the students, and then I give or I ignite them with the question, like, for example, since it is English for tourism, I ignite them with the question like, why some cities are more popular and why another cities are less popular, and then what makes them well known, and probably what resources do they have, and what are the places suddenly famous, and what solution can you give to that? And then those driven questions to the student lead to the conclusion that the availability of the information regarding to the destination and attraction of the city is very important for the tourists. So that's why one solution that we choose at that time is we have discussed and we agreed to create a tourism website for a certain destination. And then after that, I also, after identifying the problems and choosing the topic, I also informed the students that the project will be across two subjects or across two courses. Yeah. So there will be another courses who will give the same project. Yeah, that is probably developing the website, the tourism website, and then they do not need to create two websites, but only one website for two courses. That's the idea of implementing PPL across two courses. And then after that, my colleague and I plan the project and the timeline as well. We also invite the student for that. But before we come to the class, we had discussion. So my colleague and I had a discussion about the timeline and about the planning for the students. Yeah, and then we relate to the topics that we have in our own course. And then I asked the student in planning here also, I asked the student to work in a group, yeah, consisting of 4 until 5 students for each group. And I asked them to decide who will be the leader. Yeah, who will be the leader, and then who will be who will in charge, who will be in charge for the content and for the website development, and then for who will be the editor, because there will be some blogs or some description related to the attraction and transportation, so there should be an editor as well. And then after that, after planning and do the timeline, and then after that, we provide knowledge, both theories and language feature. Also, we give resources to the students. In English for e-tourism itself, I do not only teach the English language, but also I teach the content. I expose them with the some types of tourism websites that probably can be the references for the students, and also the language features. And if for the content and creative writing, it focuses only on the writing skills. Once we have done with providing the knowledge to the students, we facilitate learning. Here, our role is as a facilitator. So since I have mentioned before that the teaching and learning process was conducted 6 hours per week, it means that we have 3 hours per meeting, and it is 2 meetings in 1 week. Yeah, so the time is quite enough for us to facilitate the students. So the students will do or will to finish the project in the classroom, so that we can monitor and we can facilitate the student in case they have question, or sometimes they need help regarding to the website development or regarding to the content of the website. And then we assess the project, but we done it in each courses. So we ask the student to present about the website, and then we also use the website rubric, and we also ask them to have a self-assessment at the end of the course. And then once the subject has been evaluated, has been assessed, I mean, and then it is evaluated about their feelings in working on the project, and then We also ask the difficulties or challenges they may face during the completion of the project and the suggestion for the next implementation. Well, in incorporating PBL across two ESP courses, we face 5 challenges. The first one is time management of the two courses. Yeah, it is not easy for us to manage our own time. I have my own business, and then my colleague, Ibu Mariana Alfa, also has another business. So it is hard for us to meet to discuss about the progress of the students. And then that's why sometimes it leads miscommunication between teachers, the second challenge. Yeah. The miscommunication that we face is that about the duration and timeline that we have given to the students. Okay. Since we forget to probably we always meet in the department, of course, but we rarely have the time to discuss regarding to this course. That's why it leads miscommunication. And then another challenge is checking student progress. When teachers should check the student progress, sometimes we are not sure to be conducted in each course in the class, in our own class, or we should conduct it together. And then that's why, okay, we have planned to conduct it together. However, again, since the time management that we have, probably it becomes our evaluation. So we cannot check the student progress together. We check the student progress in our own class. And then the student collaboration management. When doing the project, the students face many challenges also regarding to the collaboration in a team. Yeah, especially for the passive students, and then the students who do not have initiation at all, and then sometimes they also have their own deadline, and then after that some of the students cannot meet the deadline, and it make the delay for the completion of the project. And then the last one is the assessment. It is also another challenge for us, yeah, in incorporating PBL across two ESP courses. Again, we expected to have to be together in assessing the students. However, since the time that we cannot match, so we assess in our own class. And what about the impacts on the students and lesson learned? Well, surprisingly, they revealed that fewer projects in one semester are easier to manage. And then they are very happy about that. And then they also develop collaborative skills that impact engagement, confidence, and social skill. They learn to communicate among members in the group so they are able to perform well. And then they also increase their motivation also increase because it is similar to the real task. They mentioned that when doing this project, they are very happy since it is they choose the city that they have never visited before. That's why they try to know about the destination, about the attraction, about the culinary that they have in the city, and then about the traditional transportation and events that is owned by the city. And then a student also said that they improve their skills related to technology, especially about website development. Me, myself, since my focus is only on the content and the language, so I do not teach the student on the website, on creating how to create website, but I ask them to learn by themselves how to create the website. That's why it boosts their independent learning as well. And then the last impact is that students improve their writing skill, especially in content writing, because they should write the description about the attraction, about the transportation, about the event. And then after that, they should edit that. And then, yeah, they will improve their writing skill there. And what about the recommendation for ESP teachers? Well, if probably Bapak Ibu want to or are intended to implement the similar project or across two courses. Yeah, okay, probably the first one is determining the course learning objective and outcome as the basis in designing the project. So it is very important because it will direct Bapak Ibu to what project that is that should be what project and what the language, probably the language feature that should be achieved by the student by doing the project. And then we also should provide scaffolding not only during the project but before, during, and after. Yeah, so after the student finish, yeah, probably finish the draft, not finish the project. Yeah, finish the draft. Yeah, we try to implement peer feedback. So I asked the student to present. Yeah, okay, what they have, what is the progress that they have, and then I asked another student to give feedback regarding to the project to the work that they have been done. And then I think it's better for us also to design a rubric because rubric can help us to evaluate both the content and language use. Here we have one rubric that is used by both of the teachers. That's website rubrics. Content, it contains the content and the language use as well. And then teachers may assess the project, the results simultaneously, especially in presentation. As what I have mentioned before, it is one of our challenge that we cannot do the assessment simultaneously together, yeah, okay, in one class, but we assess it in our own class, yeah. And then the last recommendation, probably having regular meeting and discussion with the collaborative teachers to avoid misunderstanding or miscommunication, especially on the instruction given to the student. And we also experience the miscommunication, and the student also mentioned that I think it's because the miscommunication between the teachers. Yeah, so we know that we realize that it is from us, it is our mistakes. All right. From what I have explained, yeah, okay, I can say that incorporating PBL, even though it is simulation one, it can foster student contextualized learning and reflect live communication tasks, and then real life communication tasks. And then PBL can also prominent method in ESP classroom. These are the references that I use. And thank you so much, Bapak Ibu, for the time and attention. Yeah, I'd appreciate for the thought and question. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Ms. Nani, for the inspiring and practical insights of incorporating PBL in ESP course. And we hope that it is beneficial for all of us. Ms. Nani also mentioned about the project-based incorporated project and also the challenges. And then it's give the students time for incorporating the project as well as giving assessment and also the problem solving. Bapak Ibu, we also would like to inform you that the question and answer will be given after the two speakers finish the presentation. But meanwhile, we also invite Bapak and Ibu to start right. If you are interested in asking, if you would like to ask questions to Miss Nani or later to Pak Aswir, then you may write your question to the chat box and mention your name and affiliation and to whom your question is addressed. And then also you may raise your hand when the question and answer session begin. In the meantime, kindly stay muted during the presentation. Okay, and then our next speaker will be Mr. Aswir, M.Pd from Universitas Muhammadiyah, Jakarta. Good morning, Bapak Aswir.
Good morning, Bu Ririn.
Okay, thank you very much, Bapak Aswir. Bapak Ibu, the topic for today's second presentation will be ESP Pedagogy, how CAKAP content, area, knowledge, and purposes affects teacher professionalism and student needs. But before we continue with the presentation from Papa Aswir, let me read the CV of Papa Aswir for you. So Papa Aswir S.M.Pd has the undergraduate program at Sarjana Sastra Inggris Universitas Andalas, and then she respectively gained the graduate program Magister Pendidikan Bahasa in UNJ. Her Sinta ID is 5977628, and the Scopus ID is 57919544720. His professional activities of teaching started in 2004 at STBA Teknokrat Tangerang, Banten, then at STBA Jakarta International Ciputat Tangerang Selatan, Banten, also STBA Nusa Mandiri, BSI, LP3I, Azahra University, FKIP University Matlaul Anwar, and since 2013 until now, lecturer at FIP University of Muhammadiyah, Jakarta. Mr. Aswir also actively participated in organizations, member of Asosiasi Dosen Indonesia, vice coordinator of APBS PBI, Asosiasi Program Studi Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris for regions of DKI Jakarta and Banten since 2022 until now, and also members of ESP community. Ladies and gentlemen, Bapak Ibu, without further ado, we would like to have the presentation from Bapak Aswir. Bapak Aswir, you have 20 minutes to do the presentation. Thank you very much. The screen is yours.
Thank you very much, Bu Ririn Sotya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Bapak Ibu. Thank you very much, Bu Lulu, and then Bu Dewanti Ratna, also Pak Dwi Nugroho, and all committees here, especially for Bu Ririn, as the moderator for the great moment. Okay, Bapak Ibu, let me start sharing. Okay. Okay, Bapak Ibu. Yeah, thank you. Okay, the title of my presentation is ESP Pedagogy. It relates with CAKAP. Actually, I got the term of CAKAP from Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta, when I went to UMS for accompanying my student, PLP-KKN, a few years ago. But CAKAP here, in terms of content areas, knowledge, and purposes, how CAKAP affects teachers' professionalism and students' need, and what triggers me from this topic or the title is sharing from my knowledge how content and student needs meet each other. Okay, first, what is ESP? It is widely believed that many experts agreed ESP teaches for academic professionals and also vocational goals. and experts divide in 3 categories, mostly, like English for academic purposes, English for vocational purposes, and English for specific purposes. Sometimes we use those terms respectively. And the second, the core question is how teachers' understanding of the content and purpose influence teachers' professionalism and meet students' unique needs. I share my experience, that this core question is related, relevant with my experience. How I should prepare well content when I teach like English for agriculture, English for business, and etc. And then the next core question, why is it important? Yeah, because in the relevance of effectiveness and the specialization of ESP teachers, and the roles of specification of ESP teachers is very, very important. Okay, next, the role of content area knowledge. It is about beyond language proficiency. Mostly, English graduates have a good or comprehension, in language proficiency. What about the specific English? That's a big question. So beyond language proficiency, so a teacher must have a good grasp in the subject matter, not just in general English fluency. For example, like engineers, engineers must have basic engineering principles, terminology, and discourse. Discourse, what many know that Highland focuses on genre in this term. And medical professionals, like how to understand procedural texts, like leaflets of drugs, for examples, and how to understand how to be able to communicate. Student simulates patient doctors communication, and also ethics. The next, I focus for the content, very basic actually, language focus. The first is vocabulary, and the second is grammar. The language focus becomes serious mostly university, especially from teachers training, teachers college graduate. Not all of the graduates have a good language focus. Even we ask in specific purposes. So in this occasion, I'm going to explain starting from vocabulary and grammar as the language focus. I give you an example, Bapak Ibu. This is the fact I took from a book, English for Engineers, Sampler of Oral Practice. The term is the availability of water varies from place to place. How to say? Here is when there isn't enough water, we say it is scarce. The second, when there is just enough but no extra, we say it is sufficient. And the last, when there is more than enough, we say it is plentiful. This is the way we execute, we teach, we practice to invite students to speak up by focusing on specific vocabulary, even adjectives, scarce, sufficient, plentiful. And mostly, ESP just gives the two terms, big terms like registers and jargons. So the next we discuss about registers and jargons. The next, Bapak Ibu, focus on grammar. I here explain in terms of legal English. Legal English is very unique. When we are dealing with legal English grammar, we must be able to understand the patterns, the sentence structures. Mostly legal documents use triplets. Like an example, null and void. In Bahasa Indonesia, we say batal demi hukum. So that's the kind of triplets. And mostly the patterns, like in medical also, I think, the patterns are passives because the focus is not in the actor or the subject, but the case. So that's why passive is mostly applied in legal English structure. And the third, it is very important, many prepositional phrases used in legal English. This is very interesting. If we as, suppose like ESP tutors, mentors, teachers, do not master well in this specific grammar, I think how come we can say that we have a good professionalism? That's the meaning, one of the meanings of the context of professionalism. And we come back to the need of students. How can we meet the need of students? For example, like legal English. So we must specify, for example, in grammar, with the structure, with the fixed patterns given by the legal English grammar rules. And the last, connectors. Mostly English patterns in legal use connectors, like in terms of, in here of, and so forth. Okay, Bapak Ibu, the next. I can, next. The impact on teachers' professionalism, enhance expertise. So when I join ESP class, I should understand first the text as suggested by Highland, and also with notion that a teacher must have two capabilities here, not only teaching, but also researching. So that's pedagogical impacts of ESP teachers. And enhance expertise, how a teacher, not all I think, because we should run together with experts besides we as teachers. Suppose that we teach language for field, agriculture, examples. So it means that we must expertise in linguistic patterns and also the domain or specific insight. Bapak Ibu, when I teach English for agriculture, I should explain a text. Actually, mostly of my experience in ESP, I focus on reading to learn, what we call as gender-based approach or text-based approach. And afterwards, I invite students to make role play, how to make oral presentation after the reading discussion. And the next, the impacts for our professionalism, the second is the curriculum development. And informed knowledge empowers teachers to design needs-based on curricula and adapt authentic materials. Yeah, it depends on, I think, on the policy from the campus, and sometimes, especially in my campus relies on my or teachers' policy, so the teacher can make their own decision in developing the curriculum. But for English, agricultural English, I rely on what ready-made curriculum. So I just use the module from, I forget the author of the books, English for Agriculture. So the next, for continuous development, necessitates ongoing learning in language pedagogy and target contents areas, and encouraging collaboration. Actually, yeah, this is a big question. How can we run together, collaborate with experts in delivering English instruction, especially for the ESP? And the next, Bapak Ibu, meeting students' needs effectively, how the needs will bear relevance and students' motivation, how to make students more engaged when language learning directly relates to their specific goals, increasing intrinsic motivation. Yeah, mostly when I teach ESP, not in general English, how enthusiastic students from agriculture in joining my classroom, ESP, English for Agriculture. In English for Agriculture, I can tell my experience when I explain about types of plants like annual, biannuals, and perennials plants, and how I should explain the text, Bapak Ibu, and how the text is relevant and can motivate students to make an observation after student read the text. The classification of plants like annual, yearly, biannual, twice in a year, and perennial, multi-years plants. So that's my experience. I explained about agriculture English in the session, the types of plants. And students effectively run, we can accelerate learning on focusing highly frequency language relevant to their field, and it also can achieve student proficiency rapidly. Yeah, when I ask students about some terms in morphology of plants, they can mention like what we say offshot, for example, radical, radicula, for example, like that. So this is my experience, Bapak Ibu. Further, we can discuss about this slide. Next, addressing communication gap. It deals with teachers can pinpoint and target exact linguistic and communicative deficiency. So linguistic and communicative, like with Ocean and Highland says that teachers must have a good capability in text or linguistic features and communicative competence. And number one, lab reports focus on scientific writing, intervention, or data presentation. This is such kind of role play, or we know as task-based learning. And also in medical, we know in patient stories, emphasize clear, concise, and medical documentation. And for legal, how to develop precise legal terminology and persuasive writing. And legal in my campus, from Faculty of Education, mostly we do not teach for Faculty of Law because Faculty of Law has specific lecturer, and the English program is legal English, and the legal English content is documentation analysis, a legal document analysis. And we have the experts, Professor Ibnu, if I'm not mistaken. He has good capability, a professor, young professor in our university, Faculty of Law. And Bapak Ibu, the next, I can move my slide. Trouble. Sorry, Bapak Ibu. Okay. Next, challenges and solution. The challenges, teacher expertise in content. Yeah, I recognize, I admit it. I must learn much for ESP. And yeah, we also have high curiosity to find out some resources for our material developments and time constraint for integration. Yeah. And what is solution? Collaboration, partner with subject matter experts. For agriculture, we have overseas graduates. So now he teaches for agriculture department, English for agriculture. Sometimes we have collaboration, how to prepare content for ESP in agriculture department. And teacher training, specialized ESP methodology. Actually, Bapak Ibu ya, in PTMA, Perguruan Tinggi Muhammadiyah Aisyah, we held 3 events in Jakarta, Cirebon, Tangerang, if I'm not mistaken. I forget that. We have ESP workshop, from Homsglen, Homsglen's in cooperation with Homsglen. We trained for a week in ESP. It was a few years ago, I forget the date of the workshop. But actually, PTMH already made training, teacher training for specialized ESP methodology. But the focus in Jakarta, UMJ, focus on nursing. And the expert from Australia trains us for specialization of ESP. And the need analysis also a big problem, how to meet the need for students, because we do not prepare students for their graduation actually, but we prepare for their futures, like in workplaces, careers, and also professionalism. And the next, the conclusion. The synergy of ESP, after we understand deeply about CAKAP. Number 1 is deep understanding. It is content knowledge and purpose are foundational for effective ESP. And the second, teacher professionalism leads to higher expertise, credibility, and continuous growth. And also student success, how to enhance motivation and prepare students for real-world communication. And the last, for future direction, research into discourse and interdisciplinary training should have for the end of session for each semester we should have what we say as like mini research, Bapak Ibu ya. But truly speaking, that I don't have any research in ESP. So Bapak Ibu, before stop the presentation, I want to say that nowadays ESP developed in different insight. Actually, I'm surprised that one of best universities in Jakarta do not provide ESP, even general English course as MKWK ya, mata kuliah wajib kampus. So what is the replacement? So the subjects change to personalized learning from website prepared by the institution. And when students want to graduate from the university, they should have certificate of English, yeah. And I don't know the forms of English certification, TOEFL, IELTS, or TOEIC. But this is very interesting to discuss more how ESP next in the future will develop more and more, like also in one of university in Jakarta provide English for industry. So English for industry is very unique for me because I don't know the specification of industry. If we specify the industry like creative digital English, it deals with how the graduates are able to deliver a good oral presentation, a good content maker, content designers, and so on. Besides English proficiency, they also have the skills like computer and technology, artificial intelligence, like that. Okay, Bapak Ibu, I think that's all from me, and hopefully we have some contribution for this sharing session. Thank you. Back to Ibu Moderator, Bu Ririn. Thank you very much, Bapak Ibu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Bapak Aswir, and also thank you very much to Ibu Neni. Before we go to the question and answer session, let me give some insight. So from Ms. Isnaini Nur Safitri's presentation, we learn how project-based learning PBL can be effectively applied across multiple ESP courses, albeit the challenges. And from Mr. Aswir, the discussion on CAKAP, content area knowledge and purposes, highlighted the importance of aligning teaching content with students' academic and professional needs. Teaching ESP classes are truly challenges, yet interesting. And from both presenters, the headline is collaboration and also synergy. Bapak Ibu, we come to the next session, question and answer session. On the chat box, we have already got 2 questions. First questions is Ibu Neni and also Pak Aswir. I will read the questions and then give time for Ibu Neni and also Pak Aswir to give the answer. So first question is from Pak Rudi. Pak Rudi, would you like to say your question, ask directly, or you would like me to read the question? Okay, I will read the question from Pak Muhammad Rudi from Universitas Malahayati. The question to Ibu Neni is how to assess students' language learning progress in PBL. Is there any certain test for PBL? And then to Pak Aswir, is CAKAP a teaching technique or framework, and how to implement in nursing English? And then the second question is from Ibu Lydia from UPI to Pak Aswir. The question is, how's deep learning relate to ESP nowadays? And then the third question is from Bapak Yuseria Nugraha from STBA Yogyakarta. How can we, as an ESP teachers, tackle the diverse proficiency levels and learning styles that might exist in an ESP class? So for the first answer, we would like to have Ibu Neni to answer the questions. Monggo Ibu Neni.
Thank you, Bu Ririn. Thank you, Bapak Muhammad Rudi. Yeah, okay, for the question. How to assess students' language learning in PBL? Is there any certain test for PBL? May I share screen again, Bu Ririn?
Sure, Ibu. Please do.
To make it clear. Here, I have explained that we do not only teach the content, but we also, students are also expected to achieve certain language level, especially for this one. For example, this one. In explaining procedure of online booking for certain transportation, so I asked the students to, before they finally put the transportation available to the city or to the destination that they will put in the website, I asked them to get information related to how to book the online transportation. So the students are required to find certain online transportation. I divide them into, like, some of them try to find the transportation like bus, and then also train, flight, and we also have a vary at a time. And then after that, I ask them to present, to share to others before they finally put the result of the list of the transportation in the website. And then the next one is the script for promotional video or handling accommodation via telephone. It's also a part of how I assess the language. Yeah, so I asked the student to write the script for the promotional video that they will have, and then I asked them to upload. But however, some of them also find difficulties in uploading the video. So some of the video we ask the student not to upload because it's not like the quality of the video and the result is not satisfied enough. And then, as for example, again, this one, writing the caption for Instagram and using persuasive language in creating the flyer. So we also ask the student to create the flyer for two package. And then for that, we assess the students' flyer, before they put in the website. Okay, that's how I assess the language. Hopefully, I can answer the question from Bapak Muhammad Rudi. Yeah.
Can I? So, in what meetings Bu Isnaini, I mean, at the end of the project submitted or during the process?
Okay, thank you. It is during the process. So in each step, like what, sorry, I have to share the screen again to make it clear. Yeah, so this one here, this is the, for example, this one. When I explain about the theories of the world tourism destination and attraction, it includes attraction. It means that the students are required to write the description for the attraction that they choose. And then it is during, so it is during the PBL, during their work. So they will work step by step, completing the website. Okay. Yes. Is it clear, Bapak?
All right. Thank you.
Bapak Rudi, yeah. Thank you, Pak Rudi.
Okay, thank you, Bapak Rudi, and also Bu Isnaini for the answer. We will move to Pak Aswir first about the question from Pak Rudi.
Okay, thank you, Bu Ririn. Thank you very much, Pak Muhammad Rudi. I do not mention on my slide whether it is about a framework, techniques, or approach, but in this sharing session, I more focus on like storytelling, Bapak Ibu ya, how content mastery can affect our professionalism as an ESP teacher. And also the purposes, is it really relevant for today's, because Bapak Ibu, English not only in the ESP context, but grows into a broader sense, broader insight. Like I tell before, nowadays we must welcome a new term for creative digital English. Yeah, whether is it ESP or not. So I actually Pak Muhammad Rudi ya, CAKAP just an acronym for content and areas knowledge and purposes. If Pak Muhammad Rudi wants to create these terms, this acronym becomes a theoretical framework. I think that's a good idea. And even a technique, because there are so many technique actually. As I mentioned, Bapak Ibu, when I teach ESP, like in business English, I invite students to make role play or a presentation. But before a presentation, I give student tasks how to make an advertisement. And I focus on the catchphrase. So that's very interesting topic. So suppose that if, I'm sorry to say that, if I do not know much about what is catchphrase, how important is it, and how is it relevant with nowadays topic, because students only know like the catchphrase from Nike products, just do it, or I'm loving it, from big brands. But how students are able to create. So that's the goals of my English for specific class in business. So in advertisement, we should make catchphrase. A catchphrase has a simple, a hook, and also easy to understand. So that's the goals of ESP. So that's what I mean by content area knowledge, and also the purposes. The purpose, students not only understand about some terminologies in business, but how students can communicate. Students have communicative competence, like Heinz says, how students can apply in real world in their future work. Because nowadays we have so many content creators can make good advertisements phrases. So we should prepare in our class, based on my experience, Bapak Ibu ya. It is not about academic relevance, sorry to say. I just share that I teach my students how to create a catchphrase as part of advertisement. And Pak Muhammad, Rizal ya, Muhammad Rudi. So Silakan Bapak if you want to make this acronym becomes technique or approach. It's okay. I think we can collaborate for the next project, yeah, for the research. And how to implement in a nursing English class. Unfortunately, I do not have experience in nursing. Even we have health department in our university. I tell you the truth, Bapak Ibu, ya, especially for health department, we do not teach students medical English or English for medicines, English for healthcare. But the faculty has an authority to send students to Kampung English. That's very interesting. Yeah, so yeah, it depends on the faculty policies. But yeah, until now, we just provide students with basic English. Yeah, no more for ESP. So that's a new regulation from our campus. That's all for Pak Rudi, yeah. And Bu Lydia, how deep learning relate to ESP nowadays? Yeah, actually, if a teacher, ESP teacher can collaborate with, yeah, secondary or primary teachers. So the lecturer can assist teachers or collaborate in making a new strategy for implementing ESP because we concern with ESP. The project like young diplomat muda. So how to prepare? I do agree, yeah, with Ibu Isnaini. Problem based, like preparing students become a good speaker in English, a good presenters in English. So Bu Lydia, in deep learnings, we can offer the strategy in SP in primary or secondary classroom, like preparing young diplomat, yeah, for the project, the projects in English classroom. So I think that's all, Bu Ririn, only 2 questions. Thank you very much. Maybe Bapak
Yes.
Ibu can add more, about the response for the question. Thank you.
Thank you, Papa Aswir. We have next question from Papa Yose Rianugraha. Papa Yose, to whom is your question addressed to? Please, thank you. Or to both speakers, to both presenters. Okay, let me read the question. So, how can we? Oh, to both speakers. Okay, so let's go back first to Ibu Isnaini Nur Safitri. The question from Bapak Yuse is, how can we as an ESP teachers tackle the diverse proficiency levels and learning style that might exist in an ESP class? Ibu Neni will give the answer first and then will be continued by Bapak Aswir.
Yeah, thank you so much for the question, Pak Yose. So, based on what I have experienced in my classroom, yes, of course, in the class there will be a diverse proficiency levels of the students, and I believe that they also have different learning styles. And then what I can do usually, I assign them. So there are some moments I like to ask them to work in a group. Yeah, so not probably in a pair or in a group of 3 or 4. Yeah, okay. So not only individual tasks, but I also assign them to have a group, a pair task. And then after that, sometimes I let them choose the members by themselves. but sometimes I also assign. So I know we as the teacher, we know which one who are the students who have a high level of proficiency, and then who have the students who have low level of proficiency. And then after that, I merge them into one group. So I will spread, I will not give opportunity to all the students with high level proficiency who have high level proficiency level to have in a group. So I spread them into different group, and then also as well as for the ones who have low level proficiency level. And then for the learning style itself, I usually give a different exposure as long as what I always prepare before I teach in the classroom. I usually for example, for when I teaching English for tourism, for example, then I usually provide them with some exposure, not only, for example, using the textbook only, or use the what is that PPT only, no, but also I give them video. Okay, regarding, for example, I want to teach them about the good promotional video, so I play the video. So all I believe that what I expose to them can facilitate the students who have different learning styles. Yeah, thank you, Bu Ririn. Hopefully, I can answer by your questions.
Thank you, Ibu Neni. To Bapak Aswir.
Okay, thank you, Bu Ririn. Thank you, Pak Yosef, for the question. How to tackle? Actually, one of the biggest problems in the classroom is we teach with different learners' proficiency, and the second about the facilities, and the last is the goals or the objectives of learning. So, Pak Yose, from my experience, I did a strategy doing what I mentioned earlier, students-led collaborative works. So I choose for the highest, and I spread for the group leaders. So in the group projects, I prepare for business English classrooms, like making leaflet, the second catch prize, and the last business presentation. How to deliver or a presentation about graphic organizer or infographic. So based on that experience, I also get problems, truly speaking, by Jose, but I can minimize actually the problems with the different abilities of students. I think that's all, Pak Jose. Thank you for the question, and again, Bu Ririn, thank you.
Thank you, Bapak Aswir. The last question for this session is from Ibu Bonifacia Ekta Vima. Hello, Ibu Ekta, and the question is addressed to Ibu Isnaini. Bu Neni, teaching ESP is teaching both certain content and English skill. As an ESP teacher, how do you master the knowledge of tourism since it isn't our expertise? And what is the biggest challenge you have faced? Ibu Neni.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bu Ekta, for the question. Yes, that's true that when we have to teach the content as well as the language skill, it's not easy. Yeah, and how can I know the knowledge about the tourism? Yeah, first, of course, I learn independently, and then I try to find ebooks or resources related to tourism, all related to tourism, and I read all of them. Then I was struggling at the very first time. So for your information, our study program, it was D3. So D3 English for hospitality and translation. And then after that, since there is a regulation from the government that we have to upgrade from D3 to D4, and then that's why we become D4 of English for tourism industry. And then once we define that, and then everything has changed. Yeah, everything has changed. We all the teacher have to start from the very beginning, and then that's why we also accept independently learning. Of course, yeah, reading the books, yeah, the resources independently. We also try to follow the training, yeah, and certification, yeah, related to tourism. That's why if I'm not mistaken, Ririn already mentioned earlier that I have a training in tour leader, tour guide, and then travel consultant, and then after that, what else? I forget. Front office, yeah, front office for hotel, and then marketing communication specialist as well. Yeah, that's the way I learned about the content, because once we follow the training, of course, yeah, okay, what the one who teach us is the practitioner, yeah, okay, who will give the content, yeah, the knowledge of the content about tourism. And then from them, I got a lot of insights and knowledge. And then, Alhamdulillah, I'm grateful that the management in my study program also support us by inviting the practitioner to our department. So once or twice in one semester, we always invite in 1 year. I mean, in 1 year, we always have a plan to invite different practitioner. Yeah, okay, and from the tourism field, and then from them, yeah, we can also learn. So, but it is like internal in-house training, okay, and organized by our department, but the department facilitated. So that's how I can know about the knowledge of tourism. And then the biggest challenge that I face is, of course, at the very beginning, uh, I get confused. Which one should I give first? Should I give the content or should I give the language? Or sometimes, yeah, at the beginning, yeah, okay, at the beginning when I teach tourism, I mostly, since I don't know, yeah, probably it's not easy for us to maintain both the content and the language. So I only give the content, and then in some moment I realize. So the language itself only it's for MI English. I forget what is it. Um,
As
uh,
medium of
as a
instruction.
medium of instruction only. So then I realized, oh, it's not good, and I think it's wrong, something wrong with my teaching. So that's the biggest challenge for me. So how can I formulate, yeah, or how can I formulate and planning of the semester, every semester, and every time I got the what is that the subject that I have to teach. So what are the content that should I give, and what the language skills that the student should achieve from that course. So that's the challenge for me. Yeah. Hopefully, Bu Ekta, I can answer your questions.
Thank you very much for the answer, Ibu Nani. Well, it is, Bapak Ibu, it is really engaging and interesting discussion that we have today, but it seems that the time is up. But thank you very much to Ibu Nani and also Bapak Aswir. All the questions have already been answered. Awesome. And then we've heard a lot of insightful points today from both our speakers, and it is clear that ESP teaching continues to evolve in dynamic and meaningful ways. As a summary, we can say that Ibu Neni's experience shows us that when students are given real-world tasks, their engagement and language use become more meaningful and also authentic. And the integration of PBL foster collaboration, critical thinking, helps students see the practical relevance of what they are learning, including the problem solving, and then also give great impact on the process of learning. Meanwhile, from Mr. Aswir on CAKAP, content, area knowledge, and purposes. He reminded us that ESP pedagogy goes beyond language instruction. It involves understanding the learners, the field-specific context, and which is in turn strengthen teacher professionalism and curriculum relevance. Together, these two presentations complement each other by emphasizing the importance of purpose-driven teaching strategies in ESP, whether through innovative classroom methods like PBL or through deeper content alignment via CAKAP. And let us take this valuable insight back to our institutions and classrooms so we can continue to grow as ESP educators. As we conclude today's session, I would like to extend our sincere appreciation to our two speakers, Ms. Neni and also Mr. Aswir, for sharing the knowledge and experience with us. Appreciation also goes to the committee. Thank you all participants for your active engagement. We hope today's session has sparked new ideas and reflections in your ESP teaching journey. Thank you very much. Have a splendid Saturday, everyone. Have a great weekend. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Stay tuned for our next session, and I return the microphone to our MC, beautiful Miss Ika Fathin. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bu Ririn. And thank you so much for our speakers today. A really meaningful and insightful session we have. Okay, dear ladies and gentlemen, you must fulfill today's event attendance links in the Google form. And for the material, we will, don't worry, we will share it in our WhatsApp group. For now, please stay tuned as we have a few important announcements from the ESP board. I'd like to invite Bu Lulu from the ESP board to deliver the announcement. So, Bu Lulu.
Okay. Thank you, Mbak Fathin. Okay, good morning, Bapak Ibu. It is glad to meet you again today in this insightful sharing session. And now, on behalf of the committee, I would like to announce about the opening of our membership, our annual membership. For your information, the members who have been registered as an official ESP community member, you can extend your membership starting from the 26th of July until the 9th of August by filling out a Google form that will be provided later through our WhatsApp group. And then for those who want to join as our official ESP member, you can also fill out the Google form later, and there will be some cost that you must cover. 100.000 rupiah for your membership participation, and you will be given an electronic card of membership. Okay. For further information, it will be shared through our WhatsApp group. So if you haven't joined our WhatsApp group, please join the group, because the certificate will also deliver to our WhatsApp group. Okay. The link has been shared by one of our members, to the chat box, I think. I think that's all, Mbak Fathin. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Bu Lulu, for the updates. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our sharing session today. And I believe all of you have gained a lot from our sessions. And yeah, some of the reflections for today, as an ESP teacher, we cannot work alone, right? We need to collaborate with other teachers or lecturers, be it the same English teachers or maybe the lecturers who teach the field. Like medical, or maybe some of you are from tourism field, the health field, and many more. And of course, we also need to develop our own competence about the field that we teach. Like what Bunani has told us, by joining some trainings or doing self-learning. Okay, and we highly appreciate to all the presenters today for the inspiring presentation. Bu Neni and Pak Aswir, hopefully the materials will be beneficial for all of us here. And thanks to the moderator today, Bu Ririn, for leading the discussion and delivering the main session. Yeah, we really enjoy a lot. And let's give a big applause for our presenters and moderators today. Thank you. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to thank our speakers, our moderator, and also all of you for your active participation. We hope today's session brings valuable insights and strengthen our ESP teaching practices across Indonesia and beyond. Please stay connected with the Indonesian ESP teachers community for the upcoming events. Before we close, I have a pantun, Bapak Ibu, for you. I need cakepnya ya. Cakep or cakep ini? Pak Aswir. Cakep ya, but or nice ya. Okay. 4 plus 4 equals 8.
Cakep.
Cakep. ESP teachers are great, so stay motivated.
Cakep.
Cakep. One more. When I come to you, don't run away.
Okay.
Cakep.
Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Alright, thank you.
Okay,
Have a good day.
until we
Bye.
meet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wonderful
Thank you so
day,
much,
everyone.
everyone.
Have a wonderful day. Have a nice weekend.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you,
until we
everyone.
meet
Thank
again,
you.
stay healthy and inspired.
See you.
I am Ika Fathin, the MC, signing off. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Thank
Bapak
you, Bu
wabarakatuh.
Ibu.
Ika
Thank you,
Fathin.
Bu.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Pak
thank you
Fathin,
so
Pak
Okay,
much,
thank
Aswir,
you
Pak
Bapak
Thank
Ibu,
you,
Ibu.
Ririn,
Nice
especially
Pak
Pak
sessions
Ririn,
Aswir and
today.
all.
Pak Freddy, semua thank you very
See
much.
you
Nice
all.
weekend.
Salam kenal
Thank
Bapak
you.
Ibu
See you.
semuanya.
Yeah, see you at the next sharing session.